Hello, my name's Michael Conneely, and this video and accompanying blog are all about stuck patterns, stuck scripts, stuck neural pathways, and ways to heal them. I seem to have been doing a lot of astrology readings lately for people who feel they need to change the pathway they are on in their life. But they feel so very unsure about which pathway to select to go forward on. Now, we all of us have default programs of always walking across the field ahead of us on the one pathway. And that habitual pathway can be a path of fear or weakness, or one that was imposed on us and is totally wrong for us. And because of our inbred scripts from past life or from parental upbringing or the upbringing of society, we walk the pathway that is wrong for us over and over again. It's the product of our karmas. It's the product of our imposed behavioural patterns. It's the product of our huge unconscious buried material, buried in our unconscious, our shadow stuff that can so direct our life. And indeed, our shadow can hold such power that we don't know is there. It was stuffed down and not allowed to us. So as we walk that same wrong pathway over and over again over the years, the point is that pathway gets more and more entrenched, wider and wider, bigger and bigger. And we can't imagine another pathway over the field ahead that would be right for us. Now, my astrology can be a real help in identifying the scripts we were born to work with. I always combine the wonders of psychodynamic Western astrology with the vast statement as to our destiny and our personality characteristics in this life that is given by Vedic astrology. Indeed, where else can you find the wonders revealed when you move over Chiron and Lilith? Carry them over into the wonderful analysis framework of Vedic astrology. The birth chart, the predictive charts, and the divisional charts, the Varga charts, which wonderfully define a certain particular area of our life. Moving Chiron and Lilith there does reveal wonders. And this statement I offer of our life scripts and personality is, of course, geared to, the purpose of it is for us to raise our spiritual awareness. The purpose of it is to see and heal our negative patterns. The purpose of it is to embrace positive, healing, empowering pathway to walk forward on. So I always cross over from astrology into different ways of healing. And the point is that to walk the wrong pathway is a reaction to past imposed feelings and programming. We feel we cannot find a new pathway. We feel there isn't one. So examples of astrological pointers to the fact that we will walk a wrong pathway and defining that are so useful for you to hear. They are a step towards healing and walking the needed right pathway for this time phase in your life. Let me give some examples. So, for example, if you have a weak sun, you are likely to be fearful. And Vedic astrology is so well equipped to define and show up if you have a weak sun. Conversely, a person who is too strong and bullying and overbearing and you must please me or whatever, or who carries great pent-up frustration and anger cemented in by childhood experiences, has an astrological destiny of walking the wrong path, wrecking their life, wrecking their relationship. So we pray that they come to the moment for their needed right path forward to be found. Now, eclipses can actually be handled in a way that will break your prison cage and undam your dammed up sense of self and your energy if we can see the gift of the eclipses. Now, if you have Ketu South Node conjunct your Sun, you're so likely to be weak and to have your world periodically demolished. Whereas with knowledge and insight from my astrology, we can avert that and take the right step forward instead at the crossroads and walk in a different way. It is so useful to hear if you are in the very difficult period defined by Vedic astrology as Sade Sate, the 7.5 year very difficult period when Saturn transits through the sign before the sign the moon occupies in your Vedic birth chart, through the sign of the moon, and thirdly through the sign after the moon. It's so important to know if you're in that, to hear what you're likely to experience, and to find the buried gold. To the extent that we are on our wrong path, and that we are embracing our wrong personality and behavioural scripts, and that we're not doing the needed work to raise to the light our buried unconscious material, negative and positive, the fact is that Saturn's energy will actually make us suffer. You need to hear this and to see if any suffering at the present time is due to experiencing a Saturn transit and, for example, Sade Sate. Your world may fall apart, but my astrology can help you see that this suffering is actually caused by us, by our failure in understanding, by our lack of openness and willingness to grow and change. That's what makes us suffer. And the suffering is there to alert us to the need to change and grow, because Saturn is actually our friend and guide, if only we can see that. Get a reading from me also to understand Ketu the South Node and Saturn in your chart. In your birth chart and in your predictive chart of now, the year ahead, a Saturn or Ketu transit. Their energy can feel like horror, but find out how their energy can actually be better understood and become your friend. I'm finding in the readings and healings that I'm doing in the present transit of Ketu through the Vedic sign of Libra, it's making many people feel very lost, making them feel they must change the way they manifest and walk in the world, making them feel they must find a new pathway through the field ahead of them. I did a healing journey linked to an astrology reading this morning, indeed the day of the very powerful eclipse of the 5th of May 2023, where someone saw that they were walking and re-walking a path of weakness and fear across the field ahead of them. I then got them to experience the horrible nature of this. Indeed, it emerged they'd had a horrible dream this morning that was actually a pointer if it could only be delved into and understood, to a much stronger and freer awareness and presence in the world and pathway forward. So I then got them to try and redirect and choose, in a sort of hypnotic vision trance, a very different pathway forward across that field ahead. And then as they were walking that completely new pathway, I asked them what they saw, what they experienced. The person started on their new first-time pathway, and he suddenly said with surprise and awe, "I see a beautiful mountain ahead." And then, with surprise, "I see flowers in the grass around me." Now, we then shared on important issues from that vision awareness that had such potential in it. Awareness of altering the way we habitually hold our body, plus the way we breathe when fear or dead routine strikes. And the person was asked to identify how they might be on this new pathway of flowers and mountain peaks. And what did they see themselves doing? Indeed, with reference to the pointers offered them in my preceding reading of their astrology birth chart and year ahead. And the person then saw very precise, different ways of handling certain issues and of doing their work. The person then brought this new awareness into their heart. I invited him to do that. And he then walked on enthusiastically and freer forward, the path of flowers towards the mountain, not the habitual fear path that he woke up with every morning. And the person said, "My body feels so different," and how it felt it to be remembered and recreated. So when you receive this sort of top quality astrology awareness from Western astrology and Vedic astrology combined, plus healing pointers, we can find our right new way forward that we need to find so very, very much, and walk it forward with integrity and strength and joy. Indeed, to be the spiritual warrior. Now you can go to my Star Wheel Astrology website and book a reading with me, a reading that is always so useful, a combination of Western and Vedic astrology plus pointers to healing. That's Star Wheel Astrology. The link is in the blog post and in the video description. Now my wife, Maggie Pashley, offers many wonderful online healings and different hypnotherapies online worldwide. And her website, maggiepashley.com, is in the link below the video and in the accompanying blog. And the big news is, I've recently created a new worldwide dating site for those who are on a spiritual journey and seeking love. It's called LoveStarDating. Please do go and see the totally wonderful healers that are on that site with their very different healings and insight methods. That's LoveStarDating. So wishing you all healing, blessings and happiness, and finding and walking your needed new path ahead. Thank you.